Am I the asshole for posted a booty pic that my best friend's boyfriend saw? I, 22 female, chose to post a picture of my butt in a mirror selfie to my private Snapchat story with my close friends on it. This included my best friend, 21 female, and her boyfriend. Alongside 20 other people. I have these kinds of pics on my social media, it's not uncommon of me. I'm very body positive and advocate for everyone to be comfortable in their own skin. After I made the post, my best friend since preschool suddenly ghosted me and went really weird. We speak every single day and she started ignoring me, not answering my calls, and would make excuses to not hang out. She struggles with her mental health and I was worried she was going through an episode and needed help. I gave her space but also kept telling her I am here for her. It wasn't until almost a month later she sent me a message stating that she has been Mia because of the picture I posted and that it doesn't sit right with her that her boyfriend saw it. She then also stated that I sent her a TikTok that made her uncomfortable and that she's unsure she wants to be around me anymore. For context, I am bisexual but am in a long-term relationship with a male. As our friendship has been for almost 18 years, we are very comfortable with one another, and something we do is make jokingly flirty comments. The TikTok I sent her was a video of a lesbian couple and my message was, "This could be us but you love dick too much," biting lip. Which was no different to the out-of-pocket shit she sends me also. I was absolutely heartbroken. I felt so betrayed that she thought I had any ill intent about my picture and her boyfriend. She met her boyfriend on Valorant and he lives in a different state. She flew to his state after talking for 1 week and began dating. At this point they were maybe dating for a month and a half. I figured maybe she's struggling with insecurities and trust issues as it's a fresh relationship, but to then be uncomfortable by me for a TikTok when we have always been like that and she is like that with her other girlfriends also. I responded to her message asking for context and apologizing for making her uncomfortable and that it was not my intention. I then asked why she had a sudden issue with our flirty jokes and she said she wasn't sure. I asked if it had anything to do with my sexuality and she said no, she just felt weird about it. I've spoken to others about the situation and they think she's insecure and slut-shaming, being homophobic. I'm unsure if it's that harsh, but I am really hurt. She's completely out of my life now, but she sent me a message another month later saying that she didn't mean to drive a wedge between us. My response was along the lines of, "What you said really hurt me. At the moment I am not in the right headspace to speak about it, but maybe another day we can catch up and voice our sides and work through this." She left me on read and we've not spoken since. Am I in the wrong? Edit. Am I not allowed to post whatever I want to my own social media? It wasn't aimed at her boyfriend, it was for myself. If she had an issue about it, she could have spoken to me and her boyfriend and arranged to delete me off social media if she didn't want her boyfriend to see ass. To add a different POV, I have another friend whose boyfriend was on the story, and when I told her about this issue her response was, "Idgaff if he sees your ass. I'm not insecure and I trust him. It was just a photo." Nah. It's clear you guys aren't on the same page and that doesn't make either of you villains. Not the asshole. I don't know what's up with everyone here, it's like they didn't read the post or something. It's pretty obvious that your friend is just insecure. I've been that person before in terms of feeling that way. She has every right to feel insecure, but to take it out on you was wrong. Your friend isn't insecure. Insecure girls posts booty pics for attention. Learn boundaries. You are the asshole. Your friend should have confronted you earlier about the booty pic on the private with her boyfriend. Whether or not you intended it to be sexual, it was still wrong though. Can't decide on this one. Am I the asshole for taking back my car? I am 23, just finished my graduate degree abroad. Before leaving, my sister, F38, approached me about lending her my car. She mentioned that she could pay me monthly for the car as long as we agreed on a low payment. Some background on my sister is that there is a lot of history of things going wrong with money between her and the rest of my family. For example, she rented an apartment from my parents and lived a year without paying rent. There have been other occasions of stealing money from me when I was younger or my parents. However, I felt that in recent years, she had changed. Also her, then, ex had taken her car out of spite when they split up, leaving her no way to get to work and 2 kids to feed by herself. I spoke to my parents about lending her my car and they told me it wouldn't be a good idea and they didn't want to be put in the middle of it. I wanted to trust my sister, and since we only agreed to $250 per month plus insurance and maintaining the car, I thought it was manageable for her. It was supposed to be mutually beneficial. We ended up writing up an agreement and mentioned there would be an option for her to buy my car if everything went well, and I chose to sell it upon my return. The first few months, everything was on time, until I noticed she hadn't sent me anything. She said she sent the payment, and when I checked she had only sent $50. She promised she had sent the full amount. Eventually she was consistently 2 months behind on payment. Then I found out that she had never paid for insurance. She made our mom pay for this, promising she would pay her back. 2 months before returning to my country, I told my sister that our agreement wasn't working and that I would be taking my car back when I returned home due to her not paying insurance, several unpaid tickets that my mom had paid, her not being consistent with payments, and also not maintaining the car. A fight ensued where she said I had been handed everything in life by my parents, and I would be responsible for her losing her job and not being able to feed her children. She tried manipulating me into keeping the car, but I said I will be taking it back. But I left the argument feeling as though I was the asshole for only giving her 2 months to figure out what she was going to do. I got back a few days ago and my car was in bad shape. My dad had done the only maintenance on the car 6 months ago, and my sister had not done anything since. The wheels were nearly smooth, no fuel in the tank, no coolant or wiper fluid, and the car desperately needed an oil change. The car has significantly more miles since she drove a lot or Uber. We agreed to meet to talk and settle our argument, but she has cancelled twice. We are supposed to meet in an hour and I hope she doesn't cancel. Am I the asshole for putting myself and my sister in a situation that I was warned about in the first place? You're not the asshole, but in all honesty I'd cut my losses with it. I wouldn't meet with her cause she will just make you feel worse. I'd go very low contact to no contact with her. She's just out to get what she wants. Unpopular opinion, but your sister is obviously an but you have been warned by your own parents not to lend your sister the car, but you insisted on wanting to trust her. Now you want some internet strangers to tell you that you did good. Well, you didn't. Not the asshole. But really you could have saved yourself the headache by not lending it out in the first place. Not the asshole, your parents didn't tell you that they would be providing her financial support to smooth things over, and it's their choice to do it, they can't blame you. Sounds like you learned a good lesson though. Not the asshole. But I don't think you'll get anything from this meeting. Other than a whole pile of frustration. It's your car. It was always an option you'd take it back for yourself, and it would be acceptable for you to do even if she had kept it in immaculate condition. Am I the asshole for not wanting all of my fiancé's large family at my wedding? My fiancé and I got engaged a month ago. For the most part he is not all that interested in wedding planning. However, there is one major part of our wedding that is causing lots of issues between us, and that is deciding how large of a wedding we should have. I've always imagined a medium-sized wedding of maybe 60 guests. The idea of planning and paying for a wedding with 100+ sounds exhausting and wouldn't create the wedding I've always dreamed of. The problem, however, is that my fiancé has a very large family that are all fairly close. He has 6 full siblings, 3 older half-siblings, 4 younger half-siblings, 3 step-siblings plus 2 former step-siblings he's close to. He has 14 nieces, nephews and 6 great-nieces, nephews. His dad is one of 9, so he has lots of cousins, first, second, third. He has 3 living grandparents, plus 4 step-grandparents, and 3 living great-grandparents. This isn't a family that only see each other at weddings, funerals and the occasional reunion. They are actually in each other's lives and have a close bond. The family he wants to invite is already way over 60, and that's before we even consider some of their spouses. My family is a lot smaller. I have my parents plus my unmarried younger sister. My dad has 1 sister who is married with 1 daughter, and my mom has a brother and a sister, and they each have 2 children. I have 1 living grandparent and am not close with my more extended family, so will not be inviting them to my wedding. My fiancé and I also have a large group of friends, and our non-negotiable friend invites come to 27. I've suggested to my fiancé that he should pick 30–40 family members he wants in attendance so that his family isn't so heavily represented compared to mine. He will still have double the family I do if he does manage to narrow it down. I also suggested doing a separate party at his dad's house in his hometown before or after the wedding where he could invite any of the family he wants, and they wouldn't have to travel far. However, my fiancé thinks I'm being an asshole because I don't want 70+ of his rowdy family members at my wedding. One of my friends also agrees with him and thinks a larger wedding will be fun and that my fiancé won't enjoy the day as much if he feels there's people missing. My future Phil has also been pressuring me about a larger wedding and has offered to pay to facilitate this. I don't think I'm being an asshole about this, and neither do my parents. They agree that the groom's family shouldn't so heavily outweigh mine. Am I the asshole? You are the asshole. Mainly because you repeatedly called it your wedding as if your fiancé isn't also getting married that day as well. The only way I would agree with you is the cost, but his family said they will pay. So you have no real reason on not wanting them to come outside of you don't want your husband having more support than you. You are the asshole. It's his wedding too and his family he's close to. Plus his family is willing to pay. You and your family are literally trying to punish them for having a large, more involved family. My parents, they agree that the groom's family shouldn't so heavily outweigh mine. Quote, you are the asshole. It really sounds like you just don't like that he's inviting more people than you. If they're a close-knit family and often do things together, you realize you will also be seeing them often too. You will be part of the family. If you don't like his family's mere existence, don't get married. Find someone with less family, if it's that important to you. You are the asshole. This is a celebration for your fiancé, too. If the planning gets exhausting for so many people, definitely ask him to help since he is the one that wants this bigger wedding. And definitely take your FIL's money for the bigger celebration. I don't think it's healthy to think your families are us versus them. Your families are joined with marriage, so no reason to think about one outweighing the other.